Hello, my name's Kathryn Delve and I'm a member of Cleveland District Flower Club. So now I'm ready to go. I've got a green dish inside with some of the biodegradable floral foam inside, and that gives you the balance. Without it, it will tip backwards. So this is obviously quite heavy and will give you balance in there like that. Another option would be to cover this with fabric, or you could cover it with dried leaves if you collect those in the autumn, and again do a bit of a paper mache type feel. And now I'm going to put some foliage in. So I have a lovely basket of things that I've collected here. Some of this I collected and foraged, some's from my garden, and other bits I've bought. So a whole mixture, but it is something you could create quite easily from your garden or from foraging. So to start off with, I've got this lovely oak, so quercus, and it's got little acorns on. One of the lovely things about the autumn for me is all the textures and colours that you get as we go into the autumn season. So I'm just going to be putting this nice green foliage in here. As I said, it's got these lovely acorns on it, which really gives you the feeling that we're in the autumn season. So I'm just starting off with that. And the lovely thing about the acorn is you get quite a few things on one stem. So I foraged for this when I was out on a walk the other day, but you get the nice smooth texture of the nut part of it itself, and then you get the rough texture of the little cup that it sits in, and as a bonus you get the leaves. So as you can see, I'm just popping those in there like that, and it's starting to build up. I'm just going to recess a few back here to give us a bit of depth in the design, but leaving a little bit of space there for my flowers. You can obviously collect whatever foliage you've got, use something from your garden, or use something that you find on a walk. Then, because it's autumn and those lovely deep colours of autumn, I've got some nice heuchera leaves here. These are out of my garden, and I'm just going to, this gives a different contrast in colour because all the rest of it is green. And then I'm just going to group the three together here in a bit of a terrace effect. So I'm going to put some beautiful sunflowers in now. These were bought, and although they are, we sort of think sunflowers are a summer flower, they do take us into the autumn. They are available now most of the year round if you want to buy them commercially, but you may still have some in your garden, and if not, you may manage to dry them. I do try and dry a few things, but one thing I've not been totally successful with is sunflowers. So I'm just going to group the two of those together, and then I've got one here that I've taken all the petals off just to give a bit of a contrast. I'm going to leave that one slightly longer. Where you've got very heavy stemmed flowers, if you cut them into a point like that, it makes it a little bit easier to get it into the foam, and it also gives it a little bit more stability. So I'm just going to pop that one in there and just leave that one out slightly compared to the others. You can see I've collected lots and lots of berries, and I've got some sloes here. Now I'm sure some of you would rather be putting those into gin, but I'm going to put them into my arrangement. Where I walk my dog, there's loads and abundance of sloes, and this year has been particularly good. So they're a lovely dark colour, that lovely dark fruit. And also we've got a different shape of leaf from the one that I've already put in on the oak leaf. And the sloes have been very good this year, but they've been very early as well, so you may not have any left now. So I'm just going to pop that one to one side. And then I've got these lovely rose hips, This is a wild rose, although I do have some in my garden. I did actually collect these, and I'm going to put this sort of a tumbling out effect. So you want to create something that looks like things are tumbling out of it. So this is a great arrangement if you want something, I don't know if anyone's doing church flowers this year, but certainly a harvest festival arrangement it would be fabulous for. I don't know, as I say, whether any of those things will be taking place this year, but I still think it's a beautiful arrangement to have. You can obviously reuse the cone, the cornucopia part of it. You could change it from season to season and put a different dressing on on here. This is very autumnal. If you wanted to, as I said, you could cover it in leaves, which would give you a totally different effect. Just put another rose hip in there. I want to create the effect of beautiful fruits of the season. So I've now got some more berries. So you can't have too many berries in the winter, in the autumn season. These beautiful ones I've collected again whilst out walking, and I want those to give that nice tumbling effect. Just be mindful of using berries because most of them will be poisonous. So please make sure we wash our hands, which we've all got very used to at this time, before we handle anything that we're going to eat. More berries. As I said, I don't think you can have too many berries when you're doing an autumn arrangement. And one of the things I love about the autumn is all the textures you get, and the fact that you can create something. Just, you know, go for a dog walk, and we've all done lots and lots of walking this year. Go out, see what you can find. I'm sure you've all found new places to walk whilst we've been out over the last few months. I certainly have. I've lived in this village for getting on for 30 years now, and yet I've managed to find some places that I didn't know existed before. So it's been great for that. I'm just going to untangle this one and put that out of the way. So this is this lovely purple berry, the Carpus. This is out of my garden. Just creates a different type of berry and a different colour. These are obviously purple as opposed to the red that we've got there. So I'm just going to put some more flowers in now because we're very berry heavy, and a few more bits from my garden. So I've got some Achillea here, Achillea, depending on how you pronounce it. One of the things you might do if you do dry flowers is you might have a dried version, and if you do have a dried version, then that can create some contrast if you have fresh and dried in the same arrangement. I'm just going to pop these in here as a recess. And the last of the Vibena, which just keeps giving and giving in my garden. I just cut it and use it and cut it and use it, and it's there all through the summer, and all into the autumn, and it still keep cutting it. And I think sometimes they're still there until we see the first frosts. So I'm just keeping the purple there together. And then the final flower that I'm going to pop in is going to be, this is an aster. Okay, so it's from the aster family. And again, this is that lovely deep red, which makes us think of autumn. All the rich colours that help us through the winter months. And I think in the winter, having flowers in the home is so much more important than in the summer. Although we have lots of flowers in our garden in the summer, it's nice to be able to have some flowers in the house in the autumn and winter, just to remind us of the outdoors when maybe we can't get out into the outdoors. So I've got some more of these here, and I'm just going to pop those in. And I'm starting to come back on myself now to give a little bit of a recess, and I'm going to put these in quite low down here. Just to make sure that I've got no gap here at the top. I'm just going to put another little bit of oak in and bring that back on itself. So I've created some space here in the arrangement so that it looks like they're tumbling out. Just going to clear all these stems away and pop my basket down there. And I'm going to finish off with just a few more autumnal lovelies. So I have this beautiful urn here full of apples. These have all come off my trees, and I've got the beautiful viburnum compactus on there, and these just glisten. They are just add such a beautiful, again, be really careful because they are poisonous, so make sure when we're using things like this that they're away from children or anybody who doesn't realise that they're not edible, away from food. If you did want to do something like this for a buffet table, which is great, you could obviously use edible berries like blackberries and other edible berries that you can get at this time of year. And then finally, I've just got two little conkers that I managed to find because they pick up and they're in harmony with the nice dark centres of the sunflowers. So I hope you've enjoyed my autumn arrangement. I'm just going to pop a few little leaves around here. And you could place this onto, pop the apples over here. You could place this onto a nice crate or into a basket. And then I've just got a few little rusty old keys there to finish it off. So I do hope you've enjoyed my autumn delights. Please get creative, and I hope this has inspired you to create a beautiful autumn arrangement for your home, or maybe a virtual competition, there's still lots of those going on, or into your local church for everyone to enjoy. Goodbye.